Hello everyone, we've got a binomial expansion question here. So it says f of x is equal to 50x squared add 38x add 9 over 5x add 2 all squared times by 1 minus 2x. Show that it can be written in that format. So the first thing it's good to be aware of is to check, is it an improper expression? By which I mean, is the highest power in the numerator the same as or higher than the highest power in the denominator? And in this case, we can see that's not the case because we've got a quadratic in the numerator and in the denominator, we've got a cubic. So we don't need to do any long division. The next thing to look out for is the fact that we've got a repeated factor in the denominator. So, but you can see from the format that they've shown us to write it in there, that they've kind of taken into account that fact for us. So this is really quite nice. So we've just got to literally just write this in the required form. Okay. So first of all, let's think about how we're going to do this then. And we're just going to simply start off by writing the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side, okay? So we've got our 50x squared plus 38x plus 9 all over 5x plus 9 all squared times by 1 minus 2x is equal to a over 5x add 2 plus b over 5x add 2 all squared plus c over 1 minus 2x. Now, for the next step, I think about it as having multiplied every term in the numerator by the denominator. So I imagine that this numerator, this one, and this one has all been times by this. And when you do that, you're going to end up with 50x squared plus 38x plus 9 is equal to a times by 5x minus 2, or rather 5x plus 2 and 1 minus 2x plus b times by 1 minus 2x plus c times by 5x add 2 all squared. So this line here is what we get when we've multiplied every numerator by the denominator. So now we just need to think about our values that we're going to use for x in order to cancel some things out. So let's first of all say, let x equal a half. That's going to make this term go to 0 and this term go to 0, and we'll be able to find out what this one is. Okay. So when x is equal to half, we've got to put a half into this expression on the left-hand side. And just to save our time, when we do that, you should get 81 over 2 when you sub in a half into that expression there. That term's going to go to 0, that term's going to go to 0, and we're going to have c times by 5 times by 1/2 plus 2 all squared. Okay, so that's going to go to 5 over 2 plus 2, and then when we work that out and we square it, we find out that that turns out to be 81 over 4. So we have 81 over 2 equals 81 over 4c, which means that c is 2. Okay, next one. Let's now sub in x is equal to 0. Now, when we sub in x is equal to 0, on the left-hand side, we're going to get 9. On the right-hand side, we're going to have a times by 2 times by 1. So we're going to have 2a. For this next term here, we're just going to have b. And finally, for this last term here, we've got 2 squared, which is 4, times by c. So we're going to have plus 4c. Okay, so that gives us our expression there for that one. And then we'll have to park that. We don't know, we can't solve that yet, because even though we know that c is equal to 2, we don't yet know what b is. So let's now try x is equal to minus 2/5. Now x is equal to minus 2/5 because that is a value that's going to make this one go to 0 and this one go to 0, but we'll be able to find out what b is. So when x is equal to minus 2/5, we end up that we get 9 over 5 is the left-hand side, and the right-hand side turns out to be 9 over 5b when you sub in the x equals minus 2/5. So that gives you b is equal to 1. So now that we know that b is 1 and we know that c is equal to 2, we can now solve this to work out what a is. So 9 is going to equal 2a plus 1 plus 8. So 9 is going to equal 2a plus 9, which must mean that a is equal to 0. So we've now solved that in order to find out what our values of A, B and C are. So part A has now been done because it says find the values of B and C and show that A is 0. So that's part A done. Now part B, it says use the binomial expansions to show in ascending powers of x that expression there. Okay, find the range of values of x for which the expansion is valid. 7 marks this one's worth. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of marks. So part B then, let's think about this. We've now got to expand this with our binomial. So what do we know so far? We know that the right hand side of this expression from part A is equal to 1 over 5x plus 2 all squared. And then we found out that the other term, the C term, was 2. 1 minus 2x, because remember A was 0, B was 1 and C was 2. So that's what the right hand side is. So let's do our binomial expansions for these. This one's quite a nice one. This is going to be 5x add 2 to the power of minus 2. Now let's just change the way in which that's written. So I'm going to write that as 2 add 5x. Now this is the year 13 version of the binomial expansion because we've got a negative power. Okay, so if we look at our various options available to us for a binomial, you'll see that the one that we need is this one here because it says n is a rational number, okay, which means it can be negative and fractional, and we've got minus 2. But notice that this expansion starts with a 1, okay, so that one of the most important steps is we need to get this starting off with a 1. So we're going to take out a factor of 2. And don't forget that when you take the 2 out, you've got to include this power here as well, okay? So then that's going to become 1 plus 5 over 2 x to the minus 2, okay? So when you take out that factor of 2, we've got 2 to the minus 2, 1 add 5 over 2x to the power of minus 2. So now we can just start to 1 over minus 2, 2 to the minus 2 is a quarter. And then we can start expanding this now using our binomial, okay? Right, let's have a look and see how we're going to expand that with the binomial actually. So if I fold this piece of paper over here, just so we can see the formula that we're going to be using. This is the formula that we're going to be using, okay? Just in case you're just getting to learn this topic. So we have got the first term there is 1, okay? So we've got 1. Plus n times x. Well, n is minus 2 and x is 5 over 2x. Okay, so that's our 1 plus nx. Right, how far have we got to go up to? We've got to go up to the term in x squared. Okay, so we want the next one, which is n times n minus 1 over 2 times 1. So that is going to be minus 2 times by minus 3 all over 2 times 1, like so. Okay, and then that's times by 5 over 2x all squared, and we don't need any more terms there, so we can just put plus dot 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 because we've gone as high as we need to with the squared. So that goes to 1/4. When we work this out, what's this going to go to? It's going to go to 1 minus 5x, and then all of this, when we work this out, is going to go to 2 times 3, which is going to be 6. 6 divided by 2 is going to be 3. 3 times by 25 is going to be 75, so it's going to be plus 75 over 4 x squared plus dot dot dot. Okay, so that's our first expression done there. Okay, we can expand that now, so that gives us 1/4 is equal to, 1/4 minus 5x over 4 plus 75x squared over 16 plus dot dot dot. So that's our first term done. Now we've got to repeat that same process now for the second expression. So we'll park that result for now and let's just look at our second one. Our second expression, if you remember, is this one here, the 2 times 1 minus 2x. Actually, that's not too bad, is it? Because that's just going to go to 2, open brackets, 1 minus 2x to the minus 1. So that's going to work out quite nicely. So let's just see what that's going to go to. So we've got 1, and we've got plus n, which is minus 1, times by x, which is 2x. Then we've got plus n times n minus 1, which is going to be minus 1, times minus 2 over 2 times 1, times by x squared, which is going to be minus 2x all squared. Oh yeah, and I should point out actually that is a minus 2x there, yeah, because be careful, got to include the sign when you put that one in there as well. Plus dot dot dot. So what's this going to go to? This is going to go to 2 times by 1. Minus times a minus makes a plus 2x. 2 over 2 is going to be 1, and it's a minus times a minus makes a plus. So it's going to be plus 4x squared plus dot dot dot. Then expand the bracket, gives us 2 plus 4x plus 8x squared plus dot dot dot. So now we're just going to combine these two factors together, okay, in order to get our f of x. Now here's our answer from before, okay. So what have we got? So therefore our f of x is going to equal this expression add this expression. So 2 add a quarter is 8 over 4, add 1 over 4 is 9 over 4. So that's that one and that one added together. 4 take away 5 over 4 is going to be the same as, it's going to be 11 over 4, because it's going to be the same as 16 over 4 take away 5 over 4. So that is 11x over 4. That's those two simplified. And then finally, these two simplified comes to 203 x squared over 16. 203 x squared over 16 plus dot dot dot. And that's our answer there for part B. Now it says find the range of values for which this expansion is valid. Now this bit always causes confusion with students. So let's have just a little think about this, okay? So we'll notice that our two expressions that we got from part A was these two here. Now let's think about what range of values that they are valid for, okay? Sorry, the two we got was this one and this one. So this one first, okay, 5x add 2. Well, basically, when we took out our 2, that became 2, open bracket, 1 add 5 over 2x. So this one here is valid for 5 over 2x. The modulus of 5 over 2x, or the magnitude of 5 over 2x, is less than 1. Which means that this one is valid for x is, mod x is less than 2/5. Okay, so that's the range of values that this first one is valid for. So what did we do? We looked at the version we had when we had it in the 1 plus something x, and that means this is valid for this. The magnitude of this is less than 1, or the modulus of that is less than 1. Okay, then you rearrange it to make x a subject. Now let's think about this next one. This one is valid therefore for modulus of minus 2 is less than 1, which means that the modulus x is less than a half. Now, we've got to decide which one of these is going to be our right answer. And I think use of a number line here really helps. So we've got, there's, let's say for example, 1, and there's minus 1, and there's 0. So we've got a half here. So we have got 0.5. There's minus 0.5. So this one is valid in between 0.5 and minus 0.5, because remember mod x is less than a half means x is less than a half but greater than minus a half. This one is for 2/5, and 2/5 is 0.4. So if I just draw another sort of inequality like that, and that there's my 2/5, and that there is my minus 2/5. And this is the range of values for which this expansion is valid. Now, in order for the whole thing to be working, we need both parts of the expansion to be valid. So it's the whole thing is only working in between here and in between here. We always go with the most restrictive of those two criteria. Okay, so therefore the whole expansion is valid for the modulus of x is less than 2/5, or you could write that as x is less than 2/5 but greater than minus 2/5 if you wish. But both of those are correct. I hope you found that helpful. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you're enjoying the videos, do like and subscribe to the channel. That's going to help me keep the channel growing. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.